But a lot of employers right now in this changing culture where laws are changing rapidly, they're just pulling back on testing for marijuana until we have an impairment test. And I hear it on a regular basis. Why don't you guys just do this and then we won't have to worry about it because it'll be like alcohol? Well, there are some ways in which we can handle marijuana like alcohol. For instance, you can't come to work under the influence of alcohol. You should not be able to come to work under the influence of marijuana. However, aside from that, the drug is completely different. So people ask, when will we get this test and is anybody working on it? Someone asked last week in one of my presentations, well, they said, nobody is working on this research, so why don't we just do that? Billions of dollars are being spent on this research. Every lab that I know is trying to come up with the marijuana impairment test. The problem is when we measure for breath alcohol, we know how many liters of blood are in the body. We know what alcohol consumption, how it fills those liters. And so we take that percentage. A breath alcohol test is literally the percentage of alcohol coursing through the blood, which means coursing through the brain. And so we know how impaired that person is at the moment. It's not a precise scientific measurement, but it's pretty close. Now, the problem that we have with cannabis, the measurement in those liters of blood with cannabis is not in liters. What I hear from labs all the time is this example. It's like eyedroppers in an Olympic sized swimming pool. I've actually heard toxicologists say, like, no, it's more like grains of sand on a beach. But whatever it is, paring that down is like getting an infinitesimal measurement. Now, we have some labs that have figured out how to get that measurement, but we have no standard. Marijuana is widely variable. It impacts people differently. We have contemporary products that now have greater THC levels than a standard measurement. It's unethical to study those higher potencies because they're dangerous. So we're getting further away from a standard rather than closer to. It's going to take us decades before we have an impairment test. And even if we force a standard, then it has to hold up in court. And that's where the rubber will meet the road. Attorneys will contest it. It's so here's the bottom line, not anytime soon. Presence and system testing is what it is. That's what we have. So let's do the right thing and focus on safety, not about the rights of employees to use pot or not use pot. It's still a drug, it's still impairing. Let's do the right thing and keep safety first and protect safety. And in a few decades when there's an impairment test, then we can talk. But right now our policies need to remain.